Before we begin, I just wanted to share that registration is now open for Chinmaya Mission Niagara's courses for this spiritual semester. And you can find more details online at chinmayaniagara.com. Whether it's your first time joining a course or you're returning to our community, there's something available to help deepen your self-development. Vedanta is such a valuable tool in navigating the ups and downs of 2025, and we hope that in joining one of our courses, which are for free, you'll be able to prioritize all the values and virtues that help you feel more grounded in a time that feels full of change. Okay, in today's episode, we explore the powerful connection between Shaucha, the practice of inner and outer organization, and Tapa, the discipline that fuels resilience and purpose. Shaucha reminds us that a clear space and a structured life create the foundation for mental clarity and emotional calm. Tapa takes that structure further, helping us channel our energy with intention, whether in parenting, caregiving, or serving our communities. Let's learn more.
Hari Om. Greetings from Niagara Falls. Tomorrow, the whole world will celebrate Earth Day. And this is an important day. It's a day where we remember how much we depend on the earth. And this remembrance tends to be physical. We depend on the earth for oxygen and water and so on. I'd like to bring our remembrance to that which is metaphysical. For anyone who's studied the Ramayana, studied Bhagavatam, it was when the earth was struggling by the selfishness of people, specifically the people in charge, that earth went to divinity, specifically Bhagavan Narayana, and asked for help. And in both cases, Bhagavan Narayana, divinity, already knew the earth needed help and had promised the earth that he would come and help as Bhagavan Rama, as Bhagavan Krishna. So celebrating Earth Day as a day where we turn our lights off for 1 hour is a very low bar in terms of gratitude, but rather for us to remember that the earth brought divinity to us. And in a micro way, divinity coming to us, this is manifesting as parenting culture. Because this is what we do, is we discuss divinity. We remember divinity. So as you prepare for Earth Day, raise that bar in terms of remembrance of how divinity has come into your life. We are very much in the completing mode of this year's parenting culture, caregiving culture, and understanding culture, all with the focus on courage. Sri Rama is describing to Sri Vibhishana how he can be courageous, and this is through developing arrows. The second set of arrows are the yamas. These are the don'ts. The first yama is ahimsa, which means non-harming. I'm reading to what our team has written in the workbook. This is the inspiration. We must first look after ourselves, so we can then look after others. Self-criticism and self-doubt is a form of self-harm. Reflecting more on ahimsa, or non-harming, what the world needs right now is those who are living in the realm of the environmental and the mental. This is the need of the hour. So as we go about trying to practice non-harming, specifically in the environmental and mental, and to do the opposite, to help in an environmental and mental way. Mental meaning helping people be cheerful, offering therapy, and so on. Next, aparigraha. This is non-possessing, coming back to our workbook. When we have fewer possessions, we become lighthearted. The more possessions we have, the more we are possessed by those possessions. I'm not sure if I shared with all of you when we went through this don't. In the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 8, those who follow the path of the sun, those seekers, those people are developing independence. And those who follow the path of the moon, those searchers are developing dependence. In our own lives, the path of the sun is living for values, and the path of the moon is living for valuables. The way you live, the people around you are going to watch this, are going to internalize this, and live in the same way. Now, in a very micro way, I have found that the more we possess, the more effort we have to put into those possessions, and the less time we have for parenting and caregiving and understanding. But if we don't possess a lot, we just have more time to parent, to caregive, to understand. So really see the utility of aparigraha. After this, brahmacharya, which is non-indulgence, our workbook. When we avoid overindulging and grow comfortable with discomfort, we learn to control the senses and moderate our mind. What an awesome thought, to moderate the mind. Whenever we indulge, our minds become disturbed. We have to work so hard to tell ourselves, I'm enjoying this is worth it, when really we know that it's not enjoyable or worth it. When you're not indulging, analyze how much lighter you feel. That analysis will help us to continue non-indulging. After this, asteya, which is non-arrogating. While we may not steal resources, we sometimes accept praise instead of acknowledging the Creator. When we recognize that divinity is the one deserving the credit, weight is lifted off of our shoulders. Asteya, or non-arrogating, is very much about feeling that one is the part and doing one's part. By doing so, we are training in that which is immeasurable. So much of what we do is for that which is measurable, like a paycheck, like a social media like. But if I'm feeling I'm the part and so I have to do my part, I'm training in obedience. I'm training in cooperation. I'm training in surrender. Those are much more useful results. Then the final of the don'ts, this is satya, which is non-compromising. Satya is a lifestyle, a commitment to living by one's values. As seekers, we must develop a practice of non-compromising by consistently demonstrating our ideals through action. It is unfair, it is hypocritical to share, this is my ideal, but not to have that in my lifestyle. When it comes to EQ and SQ, it is only those who practice They're the ones who know. I'm going to share the application for Satya too because I like it a lot. Share a meal together and facilitate a conversation on the values most important to your family. Then make a family poster outlining those values for all to remember. Put the poster in a prominent place to reinforce your family values. What a lovely idea to create a family poster about what our values are as a reminder to oneself, to others. These are the yamas. These are the don'ts or the nons. The reason I'm reading from our workbook all of the inspiration that was written by our team is that these are the final 3 hours of parenting culture in our 2024-2025 year. Now, in our culture, after we complete an experience of study, of reflection, what do? We go back to studying more, to reflecting more, because obviously we didn't get all of it. So one has the humility that I need to study and reflect more. And that's why in this space where all is in English, all is for free, it's not just a passive YouTube recording. This is all live. You can answer questions. There's discussions. There's a workbook. This is to ensure that this is a comprehensive form of training because caregiving is comprehensive. It is financial, it is political, it is physical, and so on. After the yamas, the niyamas. These are the do's. The first niyama, this is value 26, is swadhyaya, which in English is to understand. The inspiration, learning about ourselves and studying our nature helps us become the best version of ourselves. By dating ourselves, we prioritize self-development and set examples for our children. When you get to know you, the best version is the deeper and deepest version. For all of you who wear glasses, can you take your glasses off for a moment, please? Now look at yourself. For some of you whose eyesight is awful, you don't even know which square you're in right now, correct? And you think you're the best looking person. No blemishes, full hair. But as soon as you put your glasses on, a lot of that changes. Swadhyaya is like magnifying more and more and more and more. And undoubtedly, you come to realize many vices. You can put your glasses back on. Glasses back on now. You are all so obedient. Undoubtedly, you come across lots of vices, but deeper than those vices is that vastness, is your nature. I'm also reading the reflection from Swadhyaya. A family that prays together grows together. Beyond prayer, what other self-development practices can you add to your family's routines? And you have to decide this. Every family is different. For some, it's reading together. For some, it's writing together. For some, it's dancing together. For some, it's cleaning together. You come up with that. So far, I've reviewed all 5 of the yamas and the first of the niyamas. Now I'm continuing into 2 more of the niyamas. This is new content. When we meet for our next class, I will review and complete all of the niyamas or don'ts. This is value 27, which is Shaucha. Shaucha. In English, when you read a typical commentary, it is purity. When you are traveling through Bharat or other places, it is cleanliness. But the way to go from cleanliness, which is all physical, and purity, which is all mental, is organize. Shaucha is to organize. So first, to understand myself more. Then I know I have weaknesses. So Shaucha, which is to organize. Again, I'm reading the inspiration. If I'm using the workbook, I feel like everyone else should be using the workbook too. When we are organized externally, our minds are less agitated and we are able to reach our potential. If you go to a body of water, specifically, a body of water where there's a lot of motion, and you try to look at yourself in that water, you can't see yourself, correct? It's too shaky. But if you want to see yourself, what do you have to do? You have to slow that motion down for that water to be still. Those who are more organized with their articles, with their time, with their karma, they're simply able to see into themselves and into life more. On Thursday, May 8th morning, we have our Enhanced Seva Training graduation. Lots of you will be in this graduation. Leading up to that, I've been meeting so many of our Enhanced Seva Training students in our one-with-ones. And some of them have been asking me in a pseudo-strange way. Recently, like an 80-year-old woman asked me this, and then like a 20-year-old seeker, male seeker had asked me this. They had asked me, how can we be more efficient? And then they said, you have so many diverse and deep responsibilities, but you seem, keyword is seem, to be balanced. So how can we be like that? And so I gave them an absolute answer. But when it came to the relative, I had shared, the typical person is disorganized. And so if you can be organized and very organized, they will think like you're miraculous. They will think you're extraordinary when it's not. This should be everyone's default, is to just be more organized. And if you can do it externally, you start to feel it internally then. That's why one of our dynamics is called minute to mind management. If I learn how to manage my minutes, it's synonymous with me learning how to manage my mind. When it comes to doing this as a family, try to associate with those who are organized. If you associate with those who are disorganized, that becomes normal. But if you associate with those who are more organized, like those who are punctual, as an example, if you're always around people who are late, you'll think that's normal. But if you start to see people who are punctual, they show up on time for balaver, class, school, ride, soccer, etc., then you start to feel that's normal. And also try to associate that one's responsibilities should be organized, not ad hoc. So bringing more calendars in, bringing more planners in, bringing more writing in. This association starts to leave an imprint. And I've shared this so many times that my father did this for me while I was in elementary school. He would share, this is a sheet of paper he uses to plan his day, and I should. And what does someone in grade 5 really have to do? It's the same day every day, but maybe he knew. Maybe he was preparing me for 30 years down the road about the differences of things that I needed to do. I'm reading the application from the workbook. Buy a physical planner for you and your children and spend some time each week planning ahead. Use the planner as a daily tool to instill positive associations with organization. Everyone's together. We are completing parenting culture, more so understanding culture, more so caregiving culture, more so understanding culture. All of these are the same. This year, we're investing in courage. The sign of courage is follow through. Those who are not courageous, they say but don't follow. But those who are courageous, they think it, they follow it. Sri Rama is sharing with Sri Vibhishana all of the ways that he follows through, and that's why he's not afraid of Ravana. Ravana can have so much outside, but Sri Rama has so much inside. What is inside of him? These 5 yamas, and now the 2 niyamas, to understand oneself. Then there's deficiencies in me, so I have to organize myself. A sign or the benefit of me organizing myself is I have more energy and time to parent, to caregive, to understand. If I'm someone who doesn't know my richer potential, if I don't organize myself, I'm always rushing. I'm always feeling like I'm left behind. Now, as I organize myself, I know that there's more to life than just being a parent, that I am a seeker. There's more to life than just my family. There's the community, there's society. So the 3rd niyama is tapa. Tapa, in English, to discipline. To discipline oneself. And this is so powerful when it comes to being able to lead others. People want to follow someone who's disciplined. Nobody wants to follow someone who's indisciplined. Here is the inspiration. Burning our comfort zones trains our body to be content, even in uncomfortable situations. Since the Industrial Revolution, there has been more and more and more emphasis on comfort. And we think that this is good for us, but if it's making us more dependent, then it's not good for us. Now, one more reflection on tapa for now. What we find to be comfortable is not based on perception, but rather projection. We live in the world not based on perception, but rather I project, this is tasty, this is comfortable, this is likable. It is a projection because there's nothing intrinsically comfortable. That couch back there, for some of you, that's too soft. For others, it's too hard. When I sit on a plane, I never recline my chair. I just don't like it. I feel that's uncomfortable. I like to sit straight. But for another person, it's the exact opposite. When that steward or stewardess says, put your seat back, they get angry. I want to be reclining the whole time. So it's not a matter of perception, it's a matter of projection. That's why you can train yourself to project less, to be okay, to be all right, to be cheerful in any circumstance. And if our kids, the people that we look after, if they could develop that value of being all right in any circumstance, they would be set. They would be set for just what life is going to throw at them. The punches, the kicks. So to discipline. 2 more niyamas are coming, and they're very subtle, very beautiful. That is pranidhana, that's coming from the Yoga Sutra, and santosha.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/cmniagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love, be.